So, what do we think? General Blaine Holt, again, the man who told us when this war would start, right down to the minute, and has been guiding us every step of the way. General, welcome back. How do you feel about where things are right now in these negotiations?
Oh, great to be with you. And what a good progress report over the weekend from our vice president. There's two things that really stand out to me. One, we're on the right track. I'm very confident and encouraged by what's happened so far, and especially amidst all of the complications and complexities that are present right now. The second thing is the vice president, in his response and remarks, was calm. He was calm. He was the man at the wheel, guiding this ship through this very, very difficult storm, and really set aside a lot of the bombastic hyperbolics, the social media stuff, the mainstream media pulling their hair out, and all of that. And he just said, "This is not easy. We're on track. Here's where we're at." And on the big three issues, we are moving down the tracks the right way, I believe. There could be some setbacks along the way, but diplomatic and military sausage making is never easy.
So, okay, I think you are right. Now, there are people from the left and the right, and the rhinos especially, saying that this is the worst thing that ever happened. Here is constant critic Chris Christie, cut 4, if you don't mind.
So now he has to make a deal because he feels the economy in the United States crumbling beneath him. And what's he do? He gives them the option of opening or closing the Strait of Hormuz based upon their interpretation of whether
they have to work it out with Oman.
Right. Us and Israel are complying. Us and Israel, not a party to the agreement. He gives them a $300 billion bribe offer. He unfreezes all of their assets. He gives them their oil profits back, which is $35 to $50 billion a year. On top of it, he doesn't prevent them from charging service fees to go through the strait, which JP Morgan says could be $60 to $90 billion a year. And now to end where you started, he hands over the negotiations to a naive and inexperienced vice president and two other guys who would be better buying you an office building in Alexandria than negotiating this. And let me say this, he's gone from America first to Iran first.
Wow. Number one, he misses the overall accomplishment, which is no nuclear. He also misses that President Trump, number one, this is not a giveaway and we're not unfreezing until things happen. But, President Trump has always made it clear he wants to make peace with our enemies. He said to the North Koreans, hey, if you guys stop this nuclear, you could have resorts. He said the same thing to Gaza. So I feel like he's missing that component, but just respond to him if you don't mind. And let's face it, he's not the only one saying this kind of stuff.
No, I understand, but I am certainly happy that you led off with a rhino Republican and his attacks, because really this is what the Republicans do to themselves all the time. They're a circular firing squad. And what the rhinos have done is put themselves into a box by not backing up their president that is the leader of their party. And Chris Christie has never seen a microphone that he didn't like. The problem is he is bereft of macroeconomic knowledge. He betrayed himself in those opening remarks about the failing economy of the United States as we're at the eve of interest rates going down and we're about to be on the renaissance of American manufacturing. Second thing, he is decrying that we're bribing Iran. No, nothing could be further from the truth. The $300 billion comes from the sovereign wealth funds of SABIC, of Saudi Arabia, and Mubadala and others in the Emirates, which will invest in infrastructure projects looking for a return on their money, which enmeshes the states, Gulf states, with Iran if they meet their performance measures. And what does that do? That entangles them financially and economically, which diminishes the chance of further military actions down the road as we all move to this thing called the Abraham Accords. And the problem is that anytime you run afoul of somebody's favorite political rice bowl or donor, and I'll let it stand there in the air, you are going to get them off the bench and freaking out and letting themselves on fire, while the president at the same time is being a statesman and is doing something no president has ever done, addressing the real root causes of problems in the Middle East and getting after them a different way, in a demilitarized way. And another accomplishment we've already realized, in addition to the ships going through the straits, no nuclear threat. There's no 130,000 forces on the ground in Iran, with a lot of deaths on our part, and an endless war to pay for the next 20 years. So bravo, Mr. President. Rhinos, you better figure out sometime that you're going to hang in the midterms if you don't back your president.
So what is this thing about Hezbollah? I mean, okay, terror group in Lebanon. I believe Iran always said, hey, we have nothing to do with those guys, or at least gave themselves plausible deniability, or at least they deny it. Now they're saying, well, you know, if you guys pick on Hezbollah, everything's off. I mean, why is that suddenly relevant? I mean, it's another country. It's, I don't know. What's the tie-in?
Well, so here's something really brilliant. There is an orphan in the three-legged splintered stool in Iran right now, and the orphans got arms. They're the IRGC. They're dying. They're waning. The last strike really hurt them. But it's their proxy. They're the ones that manage the Hezbollah proxy. And that proxy Hezbollah doesn't just root itself in southern Lebanon. They're global. They had links to Venezuela. That's how the cartels and the money laundering worked and linked up. Oh, what did our president do? He attacked the cartels first. So where we're going next is we're going to orphan Hezbollah, and the Iranians are actually going to help us do it, minus the IRGC, which they will need our help with. But what I really love that the vice president said today that a lot of people missed is we're encouraging a joint mission, the Lebanese army, the real Lebanese army, and the Israeli army. And if they get a proper rules of engagement that we can monitor in the United States, Hezbollah is a goner. And then we'll see Israel's security protected, and at the same time, we'll see sovereignty for the Lebanese people. And again, what is down the path from that? It's the Abraham Accords. And the people who are detractors of the president, the globalists, the City of London, the banksters, the financialists who have profited off of this misery for the last 50 years, they're the true losers in this, and they are going to lose. They will lose here.
All right. Strait of Hormuz. One thing about this, we know what it is, right? It's that little area that kind of links the Persian Gulf, the water, to the Indian Ocean. Very important little, checkpoint, chokehold, whatever. First of all, do they have the capacity? Do the Iranians technically have the ability to shut that thing down? I just want to because we're always hearing about that, how they shut it down. They're threatening to shut it down. Can they actually do that?
They can't shut it down, but all you have to do is get one ship with a mine, or get one ship with a speedboat or a drone. And then what you do then is you give the financialists, the Lloyds of London kids, the ability to say, oh, well, we're not going to insure anything because the war is still on and the straits are closed. And that's how that narrative works against the president. So what is Scott Bessent doing? He's drawing up the money laundering. They have checked Lloyds of London, and Lloyds is going to feel free to start writing insurance wrappers, or we're going to have American companies go in there and do it. Can we get a demining exercise going with the Iranians? Yes, we can. But again, the IRGC is going to have to get sunsetted here. But over the weekend, we saw 150 ships go through. Things are moving, and things are going to move in a more robust way as we help the Iranians get to the other side of this thing. There are Iranians we're helping, and there are those that we are absolutely looking to isolate. And that's where the complexities lie in this thing getting to the end game. But look, the Gulf states are all on board. Turkey wants this to go away. And Pakistan has done a marvelous job, quite frankly, working to make amends for what they did in the early days with getting nuclear technology into the Iranian hands in the first place, with AQ Khan and their nuclear tech. And here we have the Pakistanis helping facilitate these discussions to the end. So this is Monday. I'm very happy. Let's see where I'm at on Friday, but I think we're getting to a very good place.
You think it's going to take 60 days? It's going to take the whole, or will it be done before?
No, it'll be done before. I think we're looking at a couple of weeks, actually. It depends on what IRGC does and how they're able to activate what's left of Hezbollah. But as soon as we start seeing some picked up action against Hezbollah, then you're looking at the end of the end.
I want to just a couple of quick seconds of that J.D. Vance again, the vice president, who's kind of our point man here. Cut 14.
And tell us what happened.
No, they didn't throw a wrench in the system. The thing with the Iranians, yes, they did threaten to walk out, or at least there were social media threats that they would walk out. But we were negotiating well past 1 a.m. yesterday, so they didn't walk out. And
all right,
the technical team.
So the negotiations are continuing. Here's the thing that fascinates me about J.D. Vance. He's brilliant. I know he's up to the task. But when Christie says, well, he's inexperienced, I mean, he, on paper he is. He got to the Senate in 2022, was it? 2023. Yeah. Right. And in the middle of 2024, that was his first job in politics. He is nominated to be vice president of the United States. I think that's awesome, and I do think that he's up to it, but I guess he's vulnerable to that accusation. But I think he just has so much ability and intelligence that it doesn't matter what's on paper. Lindsey Graham has been hanging around the Senate for 30 years. Who cares? This guy's got it. Other people don't. It's just kind of extraordinary that a guy who just got there has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he's wearing it well.
He's not only is he wearing it well, how duplicitous of Chris Christie, who lacks any kind of experience in this realm. None. Zero. Chris Christie, foreign policy experience, military experience, none. Economic experience, none. And yet he feels empowered and enthralled to throw rocks. Why? Because he's got a complicit media that'll let him do it and get away with it. They won't take him to task on his credentials. But guess what? There are those guys in the arena, and there are those guys who are sitting in the stands throwing rocks, and we know which is which.
Wow. Well, not only that, he's not a prosecutor. It's like, well, when I was a prosecutor, he was never really a prosecutor. He gave to George W. Bush, and they rewarded him with a political job, and the rest of it is just, hubris and posturing. Blaine Holt, you are amazing. You got the world all figured out. We so appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you. Thank you.